Hey guys, welcome to the call. We'll be starting in about 1 minute from now. I'm waiting on Wayne to come on the call.
Oh, I'm here. Hi, everyone.
Hey, excellent. I'm going to mute all. Okay. Wayne, I've unmuted you.
Yeah, I've just unmuted my mic.
Okay, cool. We got a few more people coming in. We should have a busy call today. And let's see here.
Yeah, still coming in. We'll give them a few minutes.
Okay. Now I am recording this. And so you don't need a recorder, but if you got one, that's great. Um, And let me see. I want to turn on the AI companion.
I think it's on.
Okay. Wayne, can you see the waiting room? I don't know if you can see that.
No.
Okay. We'll go in one more minute here because guys,
Oh
what
yeah, a pile in the blink of an eye, another 10 people just came in.
yeah, what we are going to show you today is when Wayne first showed this to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this. Oh my gosh. You see who that is coming in? Okay. We got a lot of people joining us today. Okay. We are going to flip the script today. And we got a full house. I'm going to take your questions at the end. It looks like we've got a good recording. Everybody can hear loud and clear. And Stan, good morning. Yep. Um, so just making sure everybody can hear us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'll watch the admit all. We got people still coming in the waiting room. Okay, so today we're going to flip the script. We're going to dominate what we're going to call the visibility economy. Now, this was coined by Neil Patel and Gary Vanderchuk. So I'm hoping that after today, you're going to understand kind of where not only are you going to see some software that we're beta launching today, but you're going to kind of understand where you need to be in 2026 going forward. And it's not about, I'm not going to say SEO is dead. I'm just going to say your SEO is going to be even better after today if you understand the visibility economy. So this is the watershed moment that we're going to be talking about. Um, what we're looking at is how do you get your long form content to short form content to video to audio, and how do you do it automatically? There's a lot of tools out there right now that can do this. In fact, I think I own half of them. So um, let's go and get this thing started then. And I'm using Gamma. Uh, Now, guys, to make this, I consulted with my expert board or my board of experts. So you got Gary Vaynerchuk, you've got Alex Hormozy, you've got Frank Kern, Ryan Dias. Dan Kennedy, and Neil Patel, all participating with me here to make these scripts, okay? So let's talk about the citation. Um, Google has evolved from a search engine to an answer engine. And I say that, y'all probably know this, is we're all turning to AI is going to answer things. And it has a little citation with each of its answers coming out. Being number one ranked isn't going to be, it doesn't make a bit of difference right now. Where you've got to be is you've got to be in the citations and be ranked number one or on the first page. Okay. Google's made an endless scroller. So there is no such thing now as one page. Okay. Or first page. You've got to be at the top of the scroll. Okay. So what we're going to work on today is how do we go from search engine to answer engine? And I think what once you see what we got, you can go, oh, well, it makes sense and it's kind of easy to do. So here we go. What Google is doing and Claude's doing, Perplexity, OpenAI, they're all building browsers. In fact, I love the Perplexity's browser comment. Um, they are stealing your answers. They are stealing news. And I'm not even going to call it stealing. They're swiping. Okay. They are not giving you credit for the news that you bring to the table. They're not giving you credit for your incredible idea that's sitting out there that you wish everybody knew about. Okay. They're putting it into their AI answers and they're not giving you citational credits until you have a verified multimodal link back to your article. Okay. This is the algorithms are changing. They are looking for confidence in your article that they would actually give you a credited citational link. Okay. And that's the little, link that's on each of the answers that are coming out on top of the screen. So where we want to be with our SEO is we want to convert it over to an AEO. How you do that is multimodal currency linking, or multimodal citational linking. Okay. You do it in videos, you do it in social, you do it in X, and we'll talk about X in the very near future. Okay. But they all want to point back to your main brand and to the article itself. So you're building brand influence and article influence. But if you've got both of them going and you've got citational links coming back from other social indicators, along with your consistent backlinking that you're doing right now, then your article is going to get found. It doesn't necessarily have to be number one, but it is going to be found in the AI answers at the top as a citational. And we're starting down that path right now to help you. Okay. So you're not ghostwriting for your competition anymore. You're not ghostwriting and delivering your answers to Google for them to put in their answers. You're going to build citational links. Okay. So let's get this thing rolling here. Semantic distillation. I hope y'all like all these really fancy words that Frank Kern and I had fun building. Okay. It's the 120 word secret. It's the hottest form right now of content consumption is short form videos. I have been talking about this for a year now, is all the short form videos, UGCs, testimonials, and even instructional videos. And Anik, a good friend of mine, Anik Singal, he even came out with Make Your Digital Twin, the Digital Twin Challenge. And I think if you've been on Geek Out Friday, you already know this is where we're all going. Okay. I have a digital twin. I worked a lot of hours over the last few months to get everything dialed in. And we're going to be talking about this in Geek Out Friday. But here's where this comes in. It's a 120 word secret. We are going to distill the information off of an article. Preferably it's going to be yours or a Medium article or something like that, into a 120 word news styled summary. Okay. We want to take long form journalism, compress it into a high authority video scripts, and we want to do it automatically. We want to signal Google inside of their favorite tool, YouTube, through voice, through captions, through descriptions, and even key tagging, your brand authority back to your article, back to your site. Okay. But we don't want to do a generic OpenAI summarize this article for us and put it into a script. No, we need a script, but we need to make it sound like journalistic standards. We want a journalistic rewriter. If you've been with me, you may have seen we are working on a universal news rewriter that makes articles better than the original news article. Well, if we can do that long form, we've already done it short form. There's certain things that Wayne's going to point out today in the demo that are journalistic effects that you may not even realize what's going on, but certain overlays, captions, telling the story in 120 words or less. Okay. That's what we want to build for you. And let's get this thing rolling here. Okay. But right now, if you want to go article to video, there's tools out there. InVideo does a great job. InVideo Studio. They will do AI article to video. You give it the URL, it reads it, it does all its stuff, and charges you a couple dollars in AI credits. Okay. And it delivers a really nice form. 20 minutes later, you're going to be back and forth with it. Usually I did 2 to 3 revisions, so I'm spending 30 minutes with it. Pictory, they do a great job too. Article to video. We used to have Content Samurai did a great job of article to video, but it's an illusion. It's not automated. It's automated to get the article into a format that looks like a slideshow, but there's certain things that it's missing. The reality is you're pasting it in there or you're putting the link, you spend 10 minutes, it's promised, and in my case, I'm spending 30 minutes. I'm perfectionist. I want captions. I want different things. There's Submagic. Submagic does an incredible job on captions and B-roll. You still have to write the script. You still have to uh, put it in Hedra or VidMasher and create the talking video, the talking head, and then put it over. If you're using Submagic, you still have a 10-minute turnaround just to get the video, if you're lucky. What I'm finding is it's more like 30 minutes. So if you're doing 10 sites, 10 minutes per site, and you only have one post a site per day, your news, you just created yourself a creative side job of making videos all the time. Okay. I don't want to do that. I want automation. Wayne and I have talked about how do we automate the article syndication, but do a good job that it has all the psychological copywriting effects that have been developed over the last decade or last 100 years. How do we get it into a video and we automate it? Wayne's figured it out. So I don't want us to get into the 10-minute trap of 10 minutes per video because it really is 30 minutes per video. Not only do you have to make it, now you got to download it and then you got to upload it back again. I use Opus Clips or you can use Upload Photo or Buffer, but it's a turnaround. It's a workflow that you have to have. We want to set it and forget it system. That's what we're building. Okay. There's a few more people coming in here. Wayne, any comments up to this point?
No, you carry on.
Okay. So how can we beat the 10-minute slash really the reality 30-minute trap per video? That's what we are going to show you today. Okay. Little bit on predictions. This is a combination of all these AI experts that are out there predicting. Sam Altman, Bezos, Elon Musk. What are your predictions for 2026? We're going to a zero click searches, meaning you ask the question through your voice, and I use Whisper Flow all the time, but you ask a question through voice or through a simple prompt, and it finds the answer for you. Okay. It will not only give you the answer, but give you other things you've never thought of, and will give you the links, the citational links to where they brought the sources from. However, if you don't have that brand consistency, you don't have multimodal citational uh, backlinking, they're just going to steal your answer and put it into AI. Okay. Citations are your currency. It's not being ranked number one because that's not your, if you're ranked number one, you're still underneath the AI answers. Okay. Um, we're building a video newswire. So you're going to hear us talk a lot about video newswire because the the original newswire was based off RSS feeds. If you know a little bit about us, we have been playing with RSS feeds for, well, I have for at least 15 years. Um, Wayne, I think, is the same. And we kind of converged back 8 years ago when we redid RSSMasher. RSSMasher is going to get a beautiful facelift. Um, it's we have a lot of friction points on RSSMasher. Too many decisions you have to make to do a set it and forget it. We're going to simplify that. We're going to simplify AI Masher and the Chrome extensions. With the idea is we want to give you the opportunity to have AI news, AI content written better than the original source. And if we can do that for you, we're off to the races with you. Okay. So zero click. We know we have to have news, but we have to have it cited in the AI. That's where multimodal. When I say multimodal, think in terms of text, video, audio, and in the social networks that are trusted by Google and all the other sources. Okay. Um, First mover advantage, that's where we're going with is what you're going to see today is first mover is how do you build a video newswire, set it and forget it easy. And okay, so we're introducing the video newswire system. It is an RSS listener, like the original new AP Newswire built on RSS feeds. Well, the RSS feeds doesn't have to come from a news source. It can come from your site. It can come from Medium, or it can come from any of these CMS services, Master Sites, WordPress. I mean, we'll set it up with uh, Groove and all these other blogging sources, Ghost and everything else that has an RSS feed, so that we're listening for the RSS feed. When it comes across, we start the journalistic rewriter. This is a very, in fact, we won't ever share this prompt. We have worked a lot on this prompt here, but we want to rewrite the script that when it builds the video, it's in a journalistic style, not only on the script itself, but in the overlays and the captions, because it's being picked up by Google or through YouTube. Okay. We want to go multi-platform. Right now, we have it set up for YouTube. Uh, the intent is it to go to TikTok and Facebook Reels and um, X down the road. So we've got a roadmap. Is we want to push it out to multiple sources. Okay, and you're about to see how we're going to link it back to your service. Okay, Wayne, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Okay. So I'm going to stop my share, and Wayne is about to show us how we're going to build a zero-touch workflow with your content into videos. And I'll just shut up and let him go. You should be able to share right now.
Okay. Right, you should be able to see my screen.
Yep.
Um, I've already logged in, so I've saved you the time looking at the homepage and everything, because you'll see that later. Um, the idea, like Damon was saying, is to automate the creation of videos that will then be posted to YouTube to then build your channel, but obviously build authority back to your website where the original article exists. So welcome to what we've called article to video. Um,
Wayne, before you get started,
yep,
can you do a demo of one of the videos
yep.
and show the original article where it came from?
Okay. So here's one about for all the people in the UK, you might know that there's quite a few soap programs. I've got a website that's got soaps, politics, games, and things like that on it. So this is one about one of the actors that was going to be in a pantomime. So this is the original article. So a guy called Bradley Riches is doing panto. Um, and then this is the article that we wrote about it on our site. And you can see it's got pictures. Uh, it's quite informative. So we ran it through, which will show you how it does it. And it created this, which you can play in the dashboard.
Bradley Riches, known to Emmerdale fans as Lewis Barton, is heading to Sunderland this Christmas to star as Peter Pan in Panto. His character transformed from a sketchy drug dealer to cafe co-owner in just 12 months, while also landing a sweet romance storyline with Vinnie Dingle. The Further Adventures of Peter Pan, The Return of Captain Hook, runs at the Sunderland Empire from December 11th through January 3rd, featuring sword fights and stunts. For years, ITV soap actors faced an impossible choice: keep your contract or take a lucrative pantomime role. There was no middle ground. The policy cost them dearly. Adam Thomas walked from Emmerdale in 2017 for a £100,000 panto payday after bosses refused to release him. In 2023, Matthew Woofenden faced the same wall when he wanted to do Elf in the West End. He chose the musical and left the soap entirely. Meanwhile, BBC legends like Steve McFadden and Adam Woodyard have collected six-figure panto checks for years while keeping their day jobs. ITV has now confirmed they'll release actors for panto with proper notice. Bradley Riches gets his Neverland moment without sacrificing his Emmerdale future. Read more at hellofaread.com. Enjoyed this update? Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.
Okay, guys. Any comments?
Wayne, let's do this. Pull this up in YouTube, please, and let's see what is on the description, and let's talk about it.
Bradley Riches. No.
Okay, here's what I want to go over with you. Scroll down to the description part. Oh, no, it's in first comment, isn't it? The link back to the article.
There.
Yeah. So we put it in you have a built-in link as a comment back to your original article right there. Okay. Now scroll back up. We mentioned Hell of a Read is the brand. Okay. We mention it in the voiceover, as well as showing it on the screen. Okay. And then we do an invite to join. But there's some subtle things that we're doing. Scroll up to the video. So there's some subtle things that we're doing right now that see that overlay. It says Emmerdale, Starheads, and Neverland. He's doing some things that you may not have even noticed. There's some movement going on behind it. There's some movement going on the colors. You've got your captions being mentioned. So that overlay, that lower third overlay, has a lot of content. This is the journalistic style that we're putting into it. There's not a lot of images. I think there's probably 4 or 5 images. They're all in rotation. We have different themes to go with all this, but there are signals being sent back to YouTube and back to Google through the voice, through the captions, through the overlays, and through the first comment with a link back to your article. Okay. Wait, keep on going. I just wanted to point that out
Yeah,
before
no,
we
that's
go any
fine.
further.
This is a brand new YouTube channel as well, and which is, it's got 4 subscribers already. I think I'm one of them, to be fair, but yeah, and there's description as well that goes in and things like that. So this is the dashboard where you can see the videos that are being created. Yes, we do 16, 9, and 9, 16. So if you want to create shorts, you can. There's an advantage of doing shorts. One of them is Google likes to push shorts and they end up in the reels. So even with an account that hasn't got many subscribers, you'll end up with some views that well, how did I get those? I've got no subscribers. And then eventually, because of the way we've done the end of the video, it's encouraging them to click subscribe because then they'll get more of these news items appearing in their feed, which they'll watch. And they'll probably go, oh, I didn't know that, like Roblox, for example, it was threatened of being cancelled. Someone comes across that's interested in games, YouTube will show it them. And someone will go, oh, I didn't know about that. I think I better subscribe to this channel. Keep me informed.
Wait,
Um,
let me interrupt you. Robert had a good point. Can you
yeah.
post the original article and then post the YouTube link in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. While he does that, let me answer a couple other questions. Robert, thanks for the suggestion. That's really good. Um, Dallas says, does this reduce our dependence on VidMasher? Two different types of things going on here. What we're doing is this is a summarized video news report of an article. Okay. What VidMasher does, it does talking heads, it does motion graphics, it does everything else that you might need. It does UGC videos. You want to
Yeah.
use them in tandem together. I'm in VidMasher all the time doing doing the talking head AI avatars. It's a completely different video than this, and I'm shooting 9x16s. But what we're trying to do is get you in the video news. Okay, different segment of the news reel on Google, on YouTube. It's a different segment. So people that are interested in the news, they're finding you through Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, in a algorithm that is news based. Okay, they need news. That's why a lot of people go to these shorts is they want a summarized news event. Okay, especially if you got news about the war or you got news about Epstein. Those are going to get picked up. I mean, he's got a 16x9 right there about uh, Prince
Andrew. Yeah.
Andrew and Epstein. This is going to get picked up, and especially if he did a 9x16 to go along with it. So that's where we're going with this. This is strictly to do news-based summaries to get you into article citations and to build your brand back on. Okay. Let's see. But good question. I thank you for asking that. Um, yeah, Scott asks, are you going to use RSSMasher to make articles and make videos based on the rewritten article?
Yeah, that's exactly
Scott,
what I did.
that's the $1 million question. Thank you for asking that because that is what we are going to. In fact, um, later we'll talk about one of the bonuses that you're going to get today. Yes. So Wayne's posted that in there. Okay. Well, I didn't want to slow you down, but these
That's
are some
fine.
good questions coming in.
Yeah.
Um, uh, we're we'll talk. Justin is asking about the voice. It's 11 Labs.
Yeah, and we take care of that. You haven't got to worry about any APIs.
Yeah. Robert asked, does your software create the article you posted on your website? No, that's RSSMasher. That's things that you would put in yourself. Um, AI Masher, RSS Masher, however you get your news or your blog content. You may be using ZimWriter. This is a perfect case for ZimWriter. Um, you know, if your WordPress has an RSS feed, which I think 100% of them have an RSS feed. Masher Sites has RSS feed. Anything that you have an RSS feed from, we can work with to automate into a video news for you. Okay. Let's see.
In fact, the Hell of a Read website that I posted that's a Masher site.
Peter asks, hard to get clicks from shorts to your offer. Absolutely. It's challenging. It
Yeah,
is,
that's YouTube of sorry, YouTube. We still put the link in the first comment. YouTube have made it unclickable because they deemed that too many people was using it for spam, so they stopped that. But on 16 by 9, it is clickable.
yeah. Now, but think about this. Your YouTube shorts are branding you. They're not cutting the voice out when it says hell of a read or the captions or subscribe to our network. Facebook wants you to subscribe. YouTube wants you to subscribe and stay in their platform. That's why the shorts are cutting out the commented description. But that link still stays in there. So you are building a backlink through YouTube. It may not be, you may not be getting the traffic that you would expect if you were page one of an article on SEO in 2018. Okay. That's not happening. It is the brand citation that we're working on to get you into AEO answers. Okay. You need to have branded support from YouTube, from Facebook, through video, through voice, through captions. That's what we're focused on is, when you built SEO a long time ago, you built these backlinks, you built all this stuff to go with it for local maps. That's what we're doing with video. Okay. Wayne, I didn't mean to take over. I just wanted to kind of explain that. Guys, y'all have some excellent questions and we're gonna answer these. But I, I I think some of them were very pertinent to where we're at right now in 2026.
Yeah, Scott's got a good question. If I have a blog with 50 posts, can this turn all posts into videos over time? Yes. I mean, we have limited it for the first 10 at the moment. Uh, but as it gets as the use cases go out, we'll expand that. But you could run 10, and then when 10 more come in, it'll take the top 10. But we could easily open it up to the top 50 if we wanted to.
Wayne, let me do a follow-up question. Once you set up this RSS feed and it's creating your news videos for this WordPress site, how much more time do you have to go back in for that WordPress site to create the 50 videos?
None.
Okay. Y'all understand that? It's not 10 minutes per video anymore. It's automated. That's what we're building for you is a new video newswire service. Okay. So go ahead, Wayne. I wanted you to show, kind of the tool itself, and we're going to have training and everything on this, but how do we get RSS feeds or single articles in here?
Yeah, okay. Let's go to the control center where everything happens. So in here, we set up a project. So, and it's giving you an example there, Daily Tech Digest, which is just a made-up name to give you an idea of what you'd put in there. So, for example, I would put, let's use my hell of a read as an example. Hell of, well, I normally put HOAR, hell of a read. And if you've got multiple categories, you can break them down. And if your site has got RSS feeds for each category, which they usually do. If it's a WordPress site, it'll be category / feed. So if you've got like politics, you could do that. And you select the RSS feed or whether it's an article URL. Article URL works currently, but we are going to push it so that it's really, really clever. Because at the moment, there's a lot of sites that we want to go to that currently are blocked because they know that we're trying to scrape. But we've got a way to get around that. But the RSS feed is what we're known for and where all the automation comes in. So in here we would put have a read.com and then whatever the I'll just put the root one in for now, which is feed.aspx. So there I'm just going to put root feed. Now this bit I came across because as good as 11 Labs is, if you've got a strange URL, because at the end of the video we want to promote your site. But in this one, for example, 11 Labs likes to go, because it's got hello, like there, you can see hello. It thinks it's hello for read, which doesn't work for me. So in here, you can phonetically put what you want it to say when it promotes your site. So I can actually put hell of a read, and I can put .com if I want. And it will still put the real URL in the video, but when it speaks, it will say whatever you put in here. This is optional if you want to risk that it gets it right. But this is a good way of making sure it gets it right. So it will say, come back to hellofaread.com, and you can even put /sports if you really wanted to, and it would say hellofaread.com /sports. I'm quite happy with just hellofaread.com to get them to the home page. Now, if you've got a site or your client's got a site, because don't forget, this would be something good that you could actually promote to your clients. If they've got some kind of like weird bot protection on, which I've seen on some sites, they'll detect where it's coming from. Well, if you tick that little box, then all the calls will go through our 250,000 IP addresses. And every time it makes a call, it will go through a different IP. So it gets around quite a lot of some of the problematic ones. If the site's yours and you haven't got anything like that on there, you just don't need to tick that. Articles per run. This is how deep down the RSS feed you want to go each time it looks. This is capped at 10 at the moment because well, it's just been released. So we want to like monitor the traffic and see the resources at the moment. But if we put it to 5, then the first time it runs, it will look down to see if you've got 5 articles, and if it finds 5 articles, it will start generating 5 videos. If you've got 3, then obviously it'll do 3. But the next time it looks, it will still look down 5. So if you've had like 2 more added at that point, then you will have 5, and it will pick those 5 up. But it will know that it's already built 3, so it'll only do the 2. So it's sometimes it's okay to just set it to 2 or 3, because if it's catching them regular and you're updating, say you got a new article going on the site twice a day, you don't need to keep checking very often, but it will check and it'll catch that video, and then that will be done. So the next time it comes round, it will say, oh, there's nothing for me to do, and it'll just go to sleep. And then when you've posted the next article, it'll pick it up and do it and then go to sleep, and so on. So it's only the first time you send it to a new site that it would have to do quite a lot in one go. And then from then on, it would just be doing 1 or 2, go to sleep, 1 or 2, go to sleep. Now, if it did find 2 or more videos in one go, it will build them in one go, but you don't particularly want to send them all to your site in one go. So we've got a delay here to say, if you've built me 2 or 3 or more videos in one go, delay them to the channel from 5 minutes, 15, 30, 60, 2 hours. So if you selected 60 minutes and it found 2 videos, you'd get one straight away, and then it would post another one 60 minutes later. So that's quite useful if you have got a busy site. Like mine can sometimes have 10 to 15 articles a day. So I would set that to at least 60 minutes because I wouldn't want 2 hitting at the same time. YouTube won't particularly like that, and it would do your site and your channel better if you staggered them, because you want all the traffic to get to that one that's just hit, and then a bit later on there's another one. And if you sent 2 at once, there's a chance that the second one would override the first one, and you don't want that. So you need to stagger them out. Then the schedule, you can leave it at manual, and the first time you use this, I would leave it at manual, because you might want to see the video before you commit it to the channel. No, sorry, I've got ahead of myself there. You might not want it to keep running and looking at the RSS feed from the beginning. So set it to manual. So you have to manually run the job yourself. So have a look at the video, and then if you like what it's building, then you can schedule it. But this will allow you to, from 1 hour all the way down to 2 days. This is how frequently it will look at the RSS feed. Now, it's no good looking every 5 minutes because that's a big resource for us, and no one's going to put an article on a website every 5 minutes. But you might put one on every, you might put one on every hour. Typically, you might have 2 or 3 a day, so you might as well set it to 8 hours or something, or 4 hours, and then it will just wake up, have a quick look, do a video, go back to sleep, and then look in 8 hours' time. Now, this one, you'll have noticed on the video that we played at the beginning that there was 2 actual images which it took from the article, and there were actually 2 images that weren't in the article. And this is the minimum images per video, and if it finds images, it will use them. So if I set this to, say, 4, and it only found 2 images in the article, then it will use AI to create 2 more. And I think you'll see that the Peter Pan one, where he was floating in the sky, that was obviously AI, which fitted in nicely. So it knew what to send to the AI to build the image for you based on the article. You ain't got to worry about any of that. It just does it for you. And then we use 11 Labs because it's probably the best voice, text to voice at the moment. There's plenty of voices to pick. And as soon as you pick one, you can click a preview.
It is not so important to know everything as to appreciate what we learn.
And you can go down. There's quite a few nice calm ones. There's some quite sharp ones, depending on what you feel you need for your site.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
Etc. So that's just like pick a voice that you resonate with, and then move on. Now we've got 5 templates. Just give them all a go. I think I've got 5 categories, and I've used a different template for each 5. And if you go right down to the bottom, there are some templates. They're just images at the moment, but we will give you some some video movements so that you can actually see. But at the moment, we haven't got that. Right. Now, the system's clever enough to use the words in the article to create the video, and it does do a good job. But if you tick this box and use AI to write the video script, that then creates a level of like um, 4 to 5 times the power of making the right words for the slides for the video. Because if you look at the two examples I sent, um, the article's good because we used our humanistic rewriter to write it, but you'll notice the video script isn't quite the same, but it's still enough similar that the two match. And that's because I ticked this box and used the clever AI that's inside to write the script. You don't have to use it. You can play around with both. Um, but I would tick it because it does make a good job. Um, Landscape or shorts, self-explanatory. And then which YouTube channel do you want to post it to? And I've got 3 connected at the moment, and I would pick, and I'll show you how to connect a YouTube. So the clever thing that we also do is when you select that, it goes and looks to see what playlists you've got. So I've decided I'm going to use one channel for the whole of the site. But because I've got royalty, politics, gaming, etc., I've created 5 playlists so that whenever it posts, if for example this was politics, I would pick the politics playlist. So all the hell of a read videos about politics are going in a playlist for politics. All the ones for royalty are going in a playlist for royalty. I suggest you do the same, because then that's going to categorize all the videos. It's going to tell YouTube instantly what that video is about because you've grouped them in a playlist. And the playlists will get offered up to people that are interested in that. So if someone's constantly watching gaming videos, they're going to get offered the playlist with the gaming videos in. Just makes sense. And then at the bottom we've got, do you want to auto publish the videos? So when you're happy with how it looks and what it does, you would tick that box, and then it would automatically, as it built the video, it would automatically send it to YouTube on your channel and your playlist based on the delay here. So if it built 2 in one go, then it would automatically post 60 minutes later. If you don't tick that, then the video will just sit there for you to look at. But there'll be a button for you to just publish it manually if you like it. So you probably wouldn't tick that box on the first time you used it. You have a look and you go, oh yeah, I like that. Or I could try template 2. Excuse me. And then you would just instantly push the button. You think, oh, well, I like that, so I might as well send it. And you can click the button, and then you would just edit the feed and tick that box and save it. And this one is, if you notice on that video I showed you, it gave a, if you like this content, if you want, I suggest you subscribe to the channel. Ticking that box creates that little bit of video for you at the end, and then adds it on. If you don't want it to do that, just don't tick that box and it won't do it. And that's how you create a feed that's going to run. And you click on create project, and it puts it in the projects list at the bottom down here. As you can see, I've already got the money ones, the soap opera ones, the politics, and you can see the feeds. See how it's split by category, politics feed, category, soap opera feed. You just got to, if it's a Masher site, they all work like that. WordPress are very similar. It would probably be / soap opera / feed, something like that. But you'd get that from the site that you're working with, so you'd be able to put the right ones in. And then when they run, we've got this nice little red banners on the side. So all these projects are off when it's red. If I click run now, it will go green and you'll see a job in the jobs list down here. And you'll see it running through. All the events are logged, what it's doing to build and create the video. If one of them is orange or amber, then that means it's on a schedule. So I won't save this one because I've got them already set up. So if I click on edit for the money one, so this is the money one that I've edited, and if I say that if I change it to say run every 2 hours and then update, you see how it's gone like a nice yellowy orange? That's to instantly tell you when you look that all your projects are off, but that one's on a timer, that one's on a schedule, and you'll see these are all the options that you selected, so you can instantly see, oh yeah, I've told it to use AI, it's a landscape, and you'll see here we've got one called next run, and that tells you exactly when it's going to run. All the times at the moment are probably in UK time. We will change that, but at the moment they're all UK times. So I'll just edit that one again, and then I will change the to manual, and then click update, and you'll see it's gone back to red. So if we look at the site, I go to the home page. I think we've got a new one here about games. So I will go to my gaming and I'll click run now. You see how it's gone green? And it's put a job down here. So now it's whizzing away. It's looked at the feed. It's found 2 articles. It knows one has previously been processed. So it's extracting the article via the feed because my articles are in the feed. Incidentally, if yours are not, you can switch them on so that they are, but if you don't want to do that, it will actually go and scrape it from the site. And it uses some really clever stuff that we've done that even if it's in the feed and the images aren't quite right, it'll still go to the site to find the images and and get them down for you. So now it's rendering. It's built the AI script. It's said it's got 10 scenes. Now, all these processes are obviously going to cost credits, and Damon will talk about credits. You do get some credits to start with, and for those of you familiar with all of our stuff, we have built something called Masher credits, and you can add Masher credits up here. You just put your API key in, and up here will show you how many Masher credits you've got. Now, I think someone asked how many credits is a video. We've been really quite like close to getting the cost really affordable. But if we look at this one as it's going along, you can see it's used 19.4 credits at the moment. And depending on how you buy Masher credits, because if you buy more, they become cheaper. If you buy the cheapest, they're still only like a penny, I think. So, I mean, it's looking at the moment that this is less than 20 cents to create, do some AI, create images, create the video itself. And you can see it's doing all the billing. And everything it does, it reports back to Masher credits. So you've got an audit of what's been spent.
Wayne, just on a typical 120 word video, are we looking at 25 credits, or what's the average that you're seeing?
The average now that it's a little bit more dialed in, is about 20, 21, 22.
Okay. So I want to relate this to what I do.
It says that, and this one's just gone to 27.
Yeah. So if your time value of money, okay, is if you spend 30 minutes on a round trip converting your article, you're going to InVideo, you're going to Pictory or any of these other ones, you convert your article and then you go, I need, and inevitably we're going to want to tweak it. We spend 30 minutes on that deal and then we put it in a scheduler, it uploads, and then we got to write captions and come back and do the comment. So let's say we're at 30 minutes um, versus 21 cents or 27 cents. Um, I my time is worth a lot more than 27 cents
Yeah,
per hour.
absolutely. Yeah.
So think in terms of how much would you pay somebody to do this for you versus 27 cents. Yeah, and we're going to talk about credits in just a sec. Wayne, we're kind of moving on. Let's
Yeah, well, it's built, and you'll notice that it's already published it as well onto YouTube. And this is a slightly different style, but it's done it. Uh, there's the article. 2 billion and 12 million angry gamers. So we've got one, there's just one. Have you noticed there's only one image in the whole of the article? So if we click watch on YouTube, probably finished processing by now.
Sony is facing a staggering £2 billion class action lawsuit that could see 12 million UK PlayStation users each receive around £162 in compensation. Gaming has transformed since 1995. Now the PS5's cheapest model.
I'll just pause it there. You'll notice that we only had one image in that article, but it went off and created an AI image for you. And it's actually got 2 billion, 12 million angry gamers written in the image, which is exactly what the article's about.
Model doesn't even include a disk drive, meaning you're forced to buy games through Sony's PlayStation Store. The lawsuit targets Sony's 30% commission on every digital sale. Developers have no choice but to pay it, and that cost gets passed directly to you. Sony prohibits any third-party
That's the third AI image now with a pile of money in the middle. You'll notice as well we've got a percentage that's going down. We've got this banner at the top and we've got something scrolling at the bottom.
Developers either accept the fees or their games simply don't exist on the platform. The case works on an opt-out basis. If you purchased any digital PlayStation game or in-game...
And I'll just scroll it forward a little bit.
Enjoyed this update? Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.
A little bit too far.
After 10 weeks, could fundamental digital game stores operate? Read more at hellofaread.com.
There you go. So there's the hellofaread.com, which is the phonetic version that I did, hellofaread.com. And then at the end, it put the subscribe to the channel bits and pieces. And that's done, published, finished. And then if we go back up to the top, I'll just show you how to attach your YouTube. So you just click this YouTube up here, and then you click connect YouTube, and then it will open up and you'll see the channels. I'll just click one of my clients at the moment. At the moment, I'm still talking with Google to get this authorized, but it's us. So if you click advanced and then click go to article to video, it says unsafe, but they say that about everybody. You click on it and it will take you back to the authorization screen. And then you just click this select all. So that allows us to be able to post on your channel, create comments, etc. And then click continue. And then that's all you have to do. And then it will be in the list for you to choose when you put the projects together. Now, one thing that's important that I've noticed is if you use a new YouTube channel, or you've had one that's been dormant for a long time and you resurrect it, it will work, but they may stop you from posting once you've got like 5, 6, 7 videos on there. You may get an error in our control center. It might pop up to say you've exhausted the limit that you can post. Now, there is once they see the throughput, they'll take that off. But there is a way in your studio, which I can show you at another. I'll make a video and show you. There's an option you can go through, and you can just do a video of your face looking left and right. It just proves to them there's a real person behind the channel. I did that, and within like an hour and a half, they'd authorized it, and all my channels that I hadn't been using very often was all flagged as okay, and then I can post pretty much all day long. So keep that in mind. It doesn't stop you. You just have to jump through some hoops if you've got a new channel. If you've already got a channel that you've been posting to all day long, you've got nothing to worry about because you've already been flagged as genuine and a, real person.
Wayne, real quick,
Yep.
because we got to get back to the webinar here.
Yep.
If they want to just do one article, they don't want an RSS feed, they just want one article, what would you do?
Yeah, you can. You can go into the control center, and instead of putting an RSS feed in, you click this and you put an article URL in. So you can effectively like lift the URL and drop it in there, and then go through everything else the same. Articles per run, you notice now you can't click this because there is only one article, so it automatically knows that. There's no delay because there's only one article. So yeah, these are just like unclickable. It fixes it to one because it knows it's only going to get one. Manual and no schedule is automatically done as well. See, I can't click this. And then everything else is the same. How many images, which voice, etc. And then do you want subscribe on the end, playlist, and etc. Everything's the same. And then it will go and scrape that article for you.
Wayne, let me real quick.
Yep.
Somebody asked, what if I want to run that video or that article to multiple YouTube channels? Ideally, what you would do is tag it to different categories. Okay. So you'll have article 1 tagged to entertainment as one of the categories, and then a second category may be football. Well, then you would have your RSS feed for football category and your RSS feed for article category, and two different feeds, same exact article. But now you could send them to two different channels, maybe one 16 by 9 and one by 9 by 16 on a football channel. So it's some of this stuff is already built in to your own WordPress. It's just how you want to handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the channels are different names, then
you would want different projects for entertainment, one for football.
Correct. Yeah. And then that'd match up then. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you notice this last video, how fast it was in generating and putting the images together, but the style looks like you would see it on Fox News, CNN, or USA Today. It looks like a news video. That's what our design is for. This is why it is a video newswire. Can you do this for other people? Absolutely. It is a moneymaker for you, hopefully.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yep. So let me do this. Let me
tell them that you're making them manually if you wanted.
Yeah. You can tell them manual processing. But anyway, you do have to be logged into Google for it to connect your YouTube, Google on your browser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert asked a good question, and we're going to catch a lot of these. Do you recommend the best WordPress theme for automation? You can use any theme you want. Your own WordPress. What we're picking up is the RSS feed, so it doesn't matter what your WordPress looks like. I personally like the Zox news theme, but there's thousands of themes out there to go with. So anyway, Wayne, anything else you want to show on the dashboard?
The dashboard, yeah. If we go to the dashboard, you can do things like you can still got 23 videos. I've posted 17 to YouTube. That's how many credits it's cost. But you can filter, you can see how many 16.9, how many 9.16. At the moment I've only done one. But over here we've got projects, so I can say hello read gaming, and then it says, oh, you've had 7 videos, you've posted all 7, and it's cost you 122 credits. So that's averaged about
It's less than 20.
122 divided by 7, 17 credits on average,
Yeah.
which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. 17 cents a piece. I mean, it's
Roughly, yeah.
ridiculous.
But obviously, if you buy them all master credits in one go, then that would have probably been like 12 cents.
Okay.
You know,
So let
yeah.
me take over the screen share. And I'll share my screen too. Okay, so we've shown you all this, and if you're late to the webinar, you can, hopefully I'll have a replay with it. You should be able to see this now. Yep.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So what do we have? This is, if you've ever set up late at night watching YouTube Shorts or Facebook Reels, it is a binging opportunity. They have built Binge into their algorithms. 200 billion daily views, 24/7. We want to be in the news feeds, which isn't, you can't tell YouTube that you want to be in the news feeds, but it will read your video and figure out you need to be in the news algorithms. Okay. That's why it's set up very specifically to be picked up as a new video news post in there. Okay. Here's the backlink Trojan horse is we have high authority voice signal. We call out hell of a read. We call out DamonNelson.com or whatever we're going to call out. We call it out in the voice, in the captions, and in the description. Our brand is being posted across, okay? We're auto-generating direct backlinks. We're doing a pre-click traffic. So you're getting people interested in your product before they even hit the page. So here's what you're going to get on the automated video newswire service. You got the pipeline. We're going to trigger it with RSS feeds, or you can put in individual articles. We've got other things that we're going to import in, but RSS is the news triggering service. You're going to get 5,000 Masher credits today on a lifetime deal because it is beta and we want you in helping us develop. There's going to be some bugs in there, but we also built this journalistic engine that it's taken us a lot to get the prompt. Bonus one, you have in fact, some of our Geek Out Fridays have already seen it, a universal news rewriter. If you want to individually rewrite your news right now, here it is. Open rewriter, paste your URL or paste the text, and it will rewrite the article. In fact, some of the guys on here said it rewrites articles better than the original. Guys, this is what we've spent a lot of time on because we're going to build it into RSSMasher and AI-Masher, but this is for you to use, okay? And that's bonus one. Bonus two is we are going to have a mastermind course or mastermind training that we're going to do in late March. I'm putting it together, and it's how to build a news agency and the strategic thinking behind it and the outcome that you want as using the automation tools. How do you find news articles? How do you find news RSS feeds that work? We're going to go all over it. We did a 3-day course 2 years or maybe last year on RSSMasher. It's going to be a lot quicker. It's going to be 2 hours on RSSMasher and the other tools that we have to write professional news articles that are your own from other news sources. Bonus 3, we're going to kick in an AEO authority swipe. It's going to be an interactive little, I haven't built this yet. I've written the outline for it, but it's basically a blueprint to AEO your articles. And bonus 4, the first 20 that's going to sign up. We have one more thing that we're going to do on the theme is if you're into woodworking and your customers, you're building a product, for customers that are looking for a gift. Okay. We want to be able to let you fine tune that video to hit the right target audience. Okay. Right now, this is all consumer news. That's the way it's designed. But we are rewriting the prompt to give you a style variation that would match your own style. The first 20, guess what? You're going to get to give us your consumer niche, and we're going to put it in. Okay. Now it may take 6 weeks to finally get it all in there, but that's how we're going to do it. Okay. So adding all this up, and y'all have seen these stacks before. I don't believe some of the value in here, but according to Frank Kern and Alex Hormozy, that's what the stack is worth. But I'm going to take it one step further. Our product, we have, in fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. It is ArticleToVideo.app, and I'm just going to bring it across. Wayne, can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to type ArticleToVideo.app. This is where you'll also log in once you're ready. See the pricing. Our retail price is going to be $47 a month. And you can actually do this right now. You're going to get 300 Masher credits every month. They don't stack. They just end at the end of the month. We have a $497 annual that you get 3,000 starter credits. And we have $997 beta lifetime. This is your agency package right here, 5,000 starter credits. But if you buy today, we're going to make it even better. And Wayne and I go, we're going to end this coupon because this is it's worth 3 times this is what, because
All day long.
Yeah, at least. So how do you do it? Type in private beta right here into Article Video app when you click the lifetime version and type that in as your coupon code. So I'm just going to type that in, private beta. So you see what it does. Get lifetime. We're going to click and I'm going to type in private beta and hit apply. It's going to take 50% off. Okay. That makes your price today $498. We're going to give you 5,000 Masher credits. And let's say it's on average 20 Masher credits per video, just a rough number. How many videos can we make?
250, that is.
We can make 250 videos before you even think about buying Masher credits. But, a lot of people are going to go, well, I don't want to ever buy Masher. This is not a subscription today, mashercredits.com. If you go here, pricing, 5,000 Masher credits. If you want to tap up, it's $45. If you want 15,000, it's $120. If you're only doing one video a day, you'll get almost a year's worth of videos at one video a day. But this is it. Think in terms of you're going to get a video for 20 cents, a professional video news automated all the way through. And all you have to do is create an article, and that's it. Once you set it up, you don't have to come back to this ever again. That's the beauty about what we're doing here. Okay. We're setting that up we have worked very hard on automation through the years, but ideally you have articles flowing into the, I got to turn my phone off because we got sales coming in and it starts ringing my phone here. Sorry about that, guys.
I couldn't hear it.
Okay. But you become a visibility architect. This is your own video news wire service. Go out and get clients, put them in here, charge them whatever you want. I mean, this is, to me, is I can take ZimWriter and now come back and do news. But more importantly, I'm going to grab RSS feeds, news feeds, rewrite them, put them into DamonNelson.com, online exercise programs, all my sites, and I'm just going to let it automate. And somebody asked a great question: is what about VidMasher and all this? you don't have to limit your channel to just news, video news. You want to put in promotional stuff. You want to put in educational stuff. You want to put in your digital avatar stuff. Uh, but this gives you that branding content back and a backlink direct to your site. Okay. However, this coupon code, damn it, I thought I turned it off here. Let me just, okay. We got a lot of people coming in. That 50% coupon is going away at midnight. I'm going to put the replay back up. So if y'all missed most of the show, I'll have the replay. I'll post it on the Facebook groups that you can watch the replay still and come back to this if you want. We're not going to do a 50% off the lifetime. In fact, once we have um, our goal is to get long-term recurring, and so that's that $47. I feel like this thing's worth $197 a month. There's some other guys that always copy us, and I say, y'all know a lot of these guys. They will have a product out there for $197 a month that doesn't do what this does automatically. But we want to automate your news articles, your money sites, your content sites to build your brand. So my brand is Geek Out Fridays and Masher tools and Masher products. So we want to use this video news service to build your brand and build backlinks. And we've got other tools that are coming out. Our focus for 2026 and going forward, one problem, one solution. The problem is getting a video newswire service automated from an RSS feed. Wayne figured it out. We have wanted this for 3 years now, and it's finally here. And if you look at some of the videos that he's already made, in fact, Wayne, can you put the channel, your YouTube channel up there?
You want it in the chat?
Yeah. So good question. Bonus 4. If you're the first 20, you're going to be invited to share your niche. And a lot of guys, I know a lot of the niches are going to be crossover. But if you're after that, we may put in your niche, but it's not guaranteed. So I know we got some guys in there that do podcasts. Their audience is a podcaster. There's a gentleman on here that does beautiful wine boxes. So I'm sure we're going to have a custom gift niche in there. But it's just enough to tweak the wording when you use AI to identify that it's for the algorithms to identify, hey, this is for a consumer that's looking for a birthday gift. So it's still writing in the new style, but it's going to have words in there that's going to trigger the algorithm. So we're doing kind of things behind the scene that you just can't put your finger on and go and twist a screw or twist a valve and see the results. We're doing the behind the scenes that the algorithms need to know. Okay. So 2 outcomes. Now, after today, you can get the $9.97, you can get the $47. You can buy those right now. But if you use the coupon expires. Okay. Questions. I think we had a lot of really good questions. I tried to answer some of them. Let's see. Wayne, any questions you can see? I know we got a lot of people excited about that, the niche being the first 20. You got to be the first 20 in there to be guaranteed that we put your niche in there. Now, let me tell you about niches. We don't want to have one we don't want to put a niche in a drop down because we can really crowd up that drop down on a theme modification. You don't want to be looking at 100 of them. So that's why we say 20. We can identify 20, but we don't want it so specific like you sell pool tables. So we don't want in the drop down for customers wanting to buy a pool table. So we would have in there maybe consumer entertainment, or something more generic that other people could use, not so specific that only one person's using, because it is real estate that we have to take up on screen, and we have to be conscious of we're gonna have a lot of people in this by the time it's all said and done. Okay. Lane, any other
Um,
uh, here's a good question.
the best.
What is the best strategy if I
Yeah,
want to build a brand new website? How many videos per day to
just
start?
looking at that one. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Um, before I do that, it's the coupon code is, what was it? Private beta. Yeah. Okay. Strategy. Um, I would build a WordPress site or a master site. Ideally, I mean, WordPress, you just pay in hosting. Okay. I would try to get 3 articles per day, news articles in there. If you're doing it manually, 3 might be a lot, but you're going to get this universal news writer. Just drop the article in there. You may actually have to copy it if the bot won't allow the scraping. Um, but you'll have a finished HTML you can just drop into your WordPress. If you've got our other tools, RSSMasher, AIMasher, we, you know, it's designed to do as many as you want. If you got ZimWriter will go straight into WordPress. But you want to find an automated tool that's going to find the right articles and post them automatically, preferably with a really good rewrite in between. Um,
I think regardless of what niche you got, I think if you just made one video and had a look, I think you'd be surprised how good it looks.
oh, absolutely. And I would say that even if you choose, in fact, family relationships, even if you choose that, there may be only 2 or 3 words that the AI would change. It's not going to it's designed to write a news article to be picked up in the news in the video news algorithms. But algorithms can specifically target people that are looking for relationship news. And it's just by putting in the right words at the right time, both in your captions and in the script itself. Okay. Um, any other questions?
Um, there's no actual like every other of our tools has got a support system attached to it. Because this is so new, it hasn't got that. Um, if you question support at ArticleToVideo.app, you will just send an email and we'll get to it.
Yep. Yeah. And guys, if you've never experienced a beta before, um, our training is in a Kajabi portal called vidpenguinproductions.com. So that's where we'll have all the training, the bonus links, and everything else in there, and we'll have communication inside of that. But we may set up a Facebook group. If you're part of Geek Out Fridays, we'll have a tab for article to video, so you could share strategies. And this is a kind of a private. If you're on the call still, Geek Out Fridays, it is. In fact, there's a lot of guys on here. If you're in Geek Out Fridays, let me know, is it worth $27 a month? Because that school group is so active sharing strategies and marketing tips and AI that I I don't even go to Facebook that often anymore. I automate things to Facebook, but I hang out in the school groups. Um, so yeah, let everybody else know it's well worth the 27 at geekatfridays.com. But if you don't want to, that's no problem. But it's kind of going to be a supplement to strategies that we're using for um, article to video. Okay. So I'm going to go back up to the screen that is how to claim it. Okay. So instead of $9.97 for a lifetime with 5,000 credits, you're going to get it for $4.98 because you'll be using this coupon code.
Yeah, don't miss out because the coupon is going to be switched off.
Yeah.
So the benefit of you being live is, you're going to remember like, oh, I'm glad I came and watched it live.
Yep. Now, when we get everything kind of tuned in, our roadmap is YouTube. That's our primary focus is YouTube. We got that kind of dialed in. Doing uh, but we're looking at TikTok and Facebook, so those may be added in the next month or two. We may even have other services. Scott Patton had a brilliant idea is can we send it off as a podcast? We're going to investigate that. That is definitely worth because it goes back to that multimodal viewpoint there. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to have the replay up probably in about an hour and a half. Scott asked, do they get into Google News, Yahoo News? We're not specifically aiming for them to fall in there, but Google News pulls from YouTube News. Okay. So that's how they get Google News in, and they extract a lot of the information from that.
Yeah, Scott says any watermarks on the videos? No.
No. The only I don't know if we have any Nano Banano 2 watermarks. You're using something else, aren't you?
Um, I can't say.
Okay. But I don't think it has watermarks
It's
at all.
magic.
Yeah. Now, down the road, we may want to watermark your video with your own branded logo. So if it's hell of a read, it would have maybe a branded image pop up. And that's something that we'll kind of investigate and look into.
It's kind of branded anyway, because at the end it like mentions the website.
Yeah. We want this to look as authentic news as possible. We want somebody to see Fox News and then this roll up right underneath it, and it's in between all the news sources. And if you see some of these themes, Wayne has shown me some. I'm going, these are incredible. They're better looking than what I see. So anyway, anything else before we leave here?
Someone wants to know whether he's on the phone, or she's on the phone. Where can I watch the replay?
I'll post the replay on all of our Facebook groups. So if you're and also in the Geek Out Fridays school group, it would give me about an hour and a half for it to render and post up. But yeah, if you just check out any of the Masher groups, they'll be there. I'll also send out an email to everybody that is subscribed to any product that you've ever bought. So you'll have an email also. So you might check that. I don't have a count. I think we're getting close to 20 right now.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, I'm so excited about this that when Wayne showed it to me, I said, how do I sign up? How do I get into it? And I'm not trying to just sell this for you. I'm excited for you to have an automated system to create really good videos from an RSS feed. Yep. And Lee, yes, the coupon will be good until midnight tonight, midnight Eastern time. So if you want to watch the replay and then decide later, that's fine too. But if you want to watch the replay and decide on Saturday, it's $9.97. Okay, and you're not guaranteed all the bonuses. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. He says you don't need to sell it. $500 for that kind of sells itself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we're not doing the John Benson, we're going to stack it deep and sell it cheap and all that. I gave y'all a stack to look at. So you feel like you were on a webinar that's selling something, but really the software itself is there. Couple strategies, and we talked about this during the call, is when you post an article, put it in different categories, different category feeds going across. I like the idea of having that same feed go in as a 9 by 16 and go in as a wide landscape at 16 by 9 and then a 9 by 16. We may have to tweak the prompt when we go 9 by 16 because I think there's a limit on verticals if you go to TikTok or Facebook that it's 90 seconds. So a lot of these are a minute 54, minute 45. They're over 90 seconds. So we're going to investigate that. We want to make sure that it's applicable to wherever we're going.
Yeah, and we may even do multi-posting from the control center.
Yeah, yeah,
To save you having to do the multiple category idea. We could say, do you want to send it to this account and this account and this account?
yeah,
But we'd have to stagger it because YouTube would look at it and go, that's a bit weird.
yeah. So right now, just build different projects. You got
Yeah.
unlimited projects you can put in there, unlimited RSS feeds.
Yeah, there's no limit.
Yeah. And it's really just, how many Masher credits. The Masher credits, what you're going to find is it really is handy having a credit system instead of having to pull out a credit card every time because all the tools that we're building in Masher tools are about to go to a credit system. And our VidMasher has a credit system, RSSMasher and AIMasher. If you're using our AI rewrites, we're going to offer a credit system. So it's easy just to go to one place for all of our tools. And that's why we built it. Wayne, anything to add before we sign off today? I wish everybody great luck. I want to hear your strategies as you get deeper into this.
Yeah, no, thanks for the great comments. We're coming up to the 20, so if anybody wants to get into that niche so they can create their own, I think there ain't many spots left. If in fact there might only be one or two.
Yep. And guys,
Yeah.
if you don't get in this exclusive bonus number 4, we're not saying we won't take your ideas, but you may have a really good idea about, somebody put in there about automotive news, which that's a high consumption news feed is the automotive news tips. If it's not in the 20, we may still add it. Okay. So don't feel, I mean, I want you to get in and be the first 20, but if you're not in, we may still if you've got a really good niche, we may still put it in. Okay. So, that's about it. I hope everybody enjoyed the call. I hope you learned something about where SEO is going to an AEO, and you're at the head of the pack if you understand that multimodal citational branding is what is going to bring you up into the citations, and that's what we're working on. Next week, I'm going to give you a teaser. Is I've got a Twitter threader where it can take that same news article and make it into a Twitter thread with illustrated images, backlinks, and everything else. It's not part of this at all. VidMasher is not part of this, but it's something that you'll just use Masher credits for. So I'm very, very excited about where we're going with all of our products are focused on AEO going forward. Okay. Wayne, thank you for joining us, and I'm going to end the call. I hope everybody has a good day, and we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.